As we age, something remarkable starts to happen. We begin to enjoy our own company more, and the idea of spending time with others, especially in large groups, becomes less appealing, in fact. Many older adults find themselves avoiding people and feeling happier about it. But why is that? Is it a sign of loneliness? Or is there something deeper going on? Today we're diving into 5 psychological reasons why we start avoiding people more as we age, and why this shift actually leads to greater happiness. Welcome back to the channel. If you're over 50 or just starting to embrace the wisdom of aging, you've probably noticed how your social habits begin to change. What once felt like a constant need to be around others or maintain a wide social circle might now seem tiring or even unnecessary. But this change isn't a bad thing. It's actually a sign of growth. As we get older, we naturally begin to prioritize our well-being and recognize that quality relationships are far more meaningful than the quantity of people in our lives. In today's video, we'll explore 5 key psychological reasons why older adults tend to avoid socializing as much, and how this shift can lead to a more peaceful, happier life. So, if you've been feeling more inclined to embrace solitude or spend your time with only a few close friends, stick around to learn why this is a natural and healthy part of aging. Let's get into it. Reason number 1, energy conservation and emotional exhaustion. As we age, a natural shift occurs in our physical and mental energy levels. When we were younger, social gatherings may have felt energizing, exciting and rewarding. The hustle and bustle of social interactions, large parties, or frequent meet-ups might have seemed like an essential part of life. But as we grow older, maintaining that same level of enthusiasm and stamina becomes increasingly difficult. Our bodies naturally slow down with age, and mental processing doesn't happen as quickly or as easily as it once did. The constant engagement in conversations, keeping up with multiple people at once, and the mental strain of social dynamics can become emotionally and physically draining. After a certain point, we may find ourselves withdrawing from large social gatherings or events, simply because the act of maintaining that level of interaction is exhausting. This shift towards preferring quieter, more relaxed environments is not just about physical limitations. It's a reflection of emotional maturity and self-preservation. As we age, we become more selective about who we spend our time with, choosing to invest energy in meaningful relationships that enrich our lives. It's no longer about meeting the social obligations we once felt compelled to fulfill. It's about making decisions that nurture our emotional and mental well-being. Conserving our energy becomes crucial for maintaining balance in life. When we withdraw from unnecessary social obligations or avoid people who drain us, it's not a negative action. It's a proactive step toward protecting our emotional health. By setting boundaries and reserving our energy for what truly matters, we find greater peace and fulfillment. This is a natural part of aging, and a clear sign that we're prioritizing our own emotional well-being. Reason number 2, increased self-awareness and personal growth. Another significant factor that influences why we avoid people more as we age is the increased self-awareness and personal growth that naturally occurs over time. The longer we live, the more we understand ourselves, our needs, desires, values, and boundaries. With this increased self-awareness, we gain a clearer sense of what brings us joy and fulfillment, and conversely, what detracts from our happiness. For example, after decades of interacting with various people, we begin to notice certain patterns in our relationships. We start recognizing that spending time with certain individuals can leave us feeling drained, anxious or emotionally depleted. These people might not be malicious, but their energy simply doesn't align with our own. Alternatively, we begin to appreciate the value of solitude, or the company of a select few people who genuinely make us feel understood, appreciated and at peace. This growing self-awareness gives us the confidence and clarity to say no to social invitations or obligations that no longer serve us. We start realizing that our time and energy are precious, and we no longer feel the need to please others. By conforming to social expectations, instead we place greater value on spending time in ways that promote personal growth, inner peace, and authentic connections. This shift in priorities is a significant part of aging and contributes to a deeper sense of contentment. The more we understand ourselves, the easier it becomes to choose who and what we invest in. We stop feeling the need to constantly prove ourselves or fit into molds set by others, and we begin to embrace the freedom that comes with honoring our own needs and desires. Reason number 3, the desire for quality over quantity in relationships. As we grow older, our perspective on relationships undergoes a significant shift. During our younger years, the number of people we know, or the number of invitations we receive, may have felt validating. We often define ourselves through the size of our social circles and our ability to fit in with larger groups. Social status, whether conscious or not, becomes a measure of our worth, and many of us seek to surround ourselves with as many people as possible to feel connected. However, as time goes on and we gain more life experience, we begin to realize that having a smaller, more intimate circle of meaningful relationships is far more enriching. The importance of quantity, how many people are in our lives, fades, and we start prioritizing the quality of these connections. The truth is, a handful of deep, supportive and genuine relationships is far more fulfilling than maintaining a large network of shallow acquaintances. We become more discerning about the people we choose to spend our time with. We seek those who provide us with emotional support, positivity and a sense of belonging, people who bring out the best in us. As a result, we naturally start avoiding those whose presence drains us, or who contribute nothing of real value to our emotional or mental well-being. This shift towards valuing quality over quantity is a primary reason why we find greater satisfaction in solitude, or in spending time with a select few. It allows us to connect on a deeper, more meaningful level, and thus our happiness grows. Reason number 4, less social pressure and freedom from expectations. One of the biggest changes we experience as we age is the gradual reduction of social pressure. In our younger years, society often dictates the rules. We feel pressured to conform, whether that's by following trends, maintaining a particular appearance, or fulfilling the roles assigned to us within our social circles. These external expectations can be exhausting, and the anxiety of keeping up can result in stress, feelings of inadequacy, or a sense of emotional burnout. However, as we age, we care less about what others think. The weight of societal norms starts to lift, and with this release comes a new freedom. Freedom to be authentic, to live life on our own terms, and to follow our own path, without constantly seeking approval from others. We no longer feel compelled to attend social events just to fit in or impress anyone. The constant need for external validation diminishes, and instead we find peace in doing what feels right for us. This newfound freedom means that we can embrace moments of solitude without guilt. We begin to see being alone as a time to recharge, reflect and focus on our personal growth, rather than feeling the need to constantly socialize or be surrounded by others. Instead of trying to meet society's standards, we find joy in simplicity. It's in these quieter, more introspective moments that we experience real happiness, unburdened by the pressures that once held us captive. Reason number 5. The peace that comes with aging and letting go of toxic people. Aging brings wisdom, and one of the most valuable lessons we gain over the years is the ability to identify and distance ourselves from toxic relationships as we grow older. We become more attuned to negative dynamics. In our interactions with others, we learn to recognize when a relationship is no longer serving us, whether it's a friend, a family member, or even a colleague, especially when that relationship is emotionally draining or damaging. In our younger years, we may have tolerated toxic people because we feared confrontation, didn't yet recognize the toxicity, or simply didn't have the emotional tools to handle such situations. But with age, we develop a stronger sense of self and a clearer understanding of what we need from our relationships. We realize that we no longer have to endure negativity or allow toxic people to stay in our lives. Letting go of these relationships create space for peace and emotional clarity. By distancing ourselves from people who bring us down, we begin to prioritize our own well-being and mental health. We can then invest our time in relationships that nurture us, in people who uplift us and encourage our personal growth. Choosing to avoid those who bring negativity into our lives is not about rejection or creating isolation. It's about creating an environment that promotes joy, growth, and fulfillment. In doing so, we find a deeper sense of happiness that doesn't require constant socializing or superficial interactions. As we've explored, the reasons why we begin avoiding people more as we age are deeply rooted in psychological changes that promote emotional well-being. From conserving our energy and embracing personal growth, to prioritizing quality relationships and finding freedom from societal expectations. Each of these factors contributes to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. It's important to remember that choosing solitude or being selective about your social circle isn't a sign of loneliness. It's a sign of maturity. By focusing on the relationships and environments that truly nourish us, we are making conscious choices that support our happiness and emotional health. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video and found it insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content on aging gracefully and living your best life. As you get older, share your thoughts with us. Have you noticed yourself avoiding social gatherings more or finding comfort in solitude as you age? I'd love to hear your experiences. Until next time, take care of yourselves. And remember, happiness comes from embracing who you are, no matter your age.